Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Theodore Morehouse, everybody. Let him hear you.
My wife and I recently retired. We had lived and worked in New York all our lives, and we had to make this decision. We now have this huge blank slate, which is called the rest of our lives, and what are we going to do with it? And I had this theory. My theory is that if you can figure out where you want to be and why, everything else will fall into place. So I said, look, let's see if we can just get right to the answer here. And you take a piece of paper and I'll take a piece of paper. Write down your absolute dream location, where you want to be, and why. 10 words or less. So she takes hers, I take mine, and okay, we do the great reveal and we go through hers first. And she selects Southern California and has 2 sentences. One says, no more fucking snowstorms. The other says, no more fucking ice storms. And there was a little addendum there. It said, in fact, I don't even want to hear the word ice again, ever, unless it has to do with a gin and tonic. So, okay, so now we look at mine. And happily, it also says Southern California. I only needed 3 words. Drugs are legal. So, we come to Los Angeles. My wife goes out to look for an apartment. I go out to look for the local weed store. So, you know, we get back, we're settling in, things are starting to work. But I'm starting to feel a little bit of tension personally developed because the weather is always good. And you know, when you come from New England, we go whole seasons sometimes, we get 3, 4 good days. And when you do, there's huge pressure to go outside and do something. You gotta either go out and recreate, or you gotta be productive, something like that. So you can see the dilemma building here. This pressure to go outside and do something productive, and over on this side, all good days. So these 2 things merge. I'm going to have to be outside doing something productive every fucking day. And that was not the intent of my retirement at all. Now, my wife has a theory as well, and it kind of can be summarized in one sentence. It really sort of takes the form of a question. And she says, you don't want to be one of those guys, do you, who sits on the couch all day, drinks beer, and watches sports on TV? No. So I venture outside. And I see people zipping around, hundreds of people. We have a park behind where we live and roads and stuff like that. And I see people on skateboards. And the people on skateboards, by the way, are not using leg power anymore. They're using battery power. So they stand there pretty much and they push a button. And they go. And then there are the insidious battery-powered scooters. The Burrs, the Lemons, the Limes, the list, you know, they're everywhere. And apparently they have no rules. They can go on the street, on the bike path, they can go on the grass, they can do whatever they want. And where we live, even the dog walkers are automating. You know, you see this guy, he's got a little bicycle and it's got a little motor in it. And he's got Fido at the end of the leash and says, here we go. And he takes off and the dog either goes or dies. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better about exercise in Los Angeles because you know, none of these people are actually getting any exercise. If you think about it, yeah, they're moving from place to place, they're doing it really quickly, they're zipping in and out and all this stuff. But the only reason they're moving is because they are on something that is moving. So I start saying, well, you know, what the hell, I can go out and exercise, all I have to do is be able to stand up. So then my eye drifts across the road. We live near a huge sports bar called Tony P's. And the parking lot is filling up and filling up and filling up. And what this means is that other Californians have awakened, looked out the window and said, it's a beautiful day, I'm going out. And they get in their car, and they drive to the sports bar, and they give the car to the valet. They go in the bar, they sit down, they order beer and watch sports on TV all day. Which is exactly what I wanted to do. So I called my wife and I said, you know, you were right. It makes sense to go out on days like this. I'm going to be out another couple hours. Okay? You're right. And I hop into Tony's and, you know, spend the rest of the day there. So recently, I bought a water pick. I don't know if you all know what a water pick is, but it's basically a device that can send water under high pressure into your mouth in a very thin stream of water, intense pressure, because it won't hurt your teeth because it's water, but it'll get stuff that brushing and flossing apparently can't. So this thing arrives, made in China, which a lot of things that manufactured or originally manufactured in America are. So I look at this thing and it says the dreaded words for me, which is assembly required. I was not blessed with the gene of being able to do something mechanical. It's enough stress for me to open a bottle of ketchup. I just can't do that stuff. So now I'm starting to get really tense. And luckily, because I'm retired, the way I can relieve stress is I just go in the other room and I get my bomb. And I fill the bowl with a legal California herb by the name of lemonade haze. So I have a couple of hits on the bomb and now I'm ready to take this project on. So I open up the box and I get the instructions, and there's 16 pages of instruction, and because it was manufactured in China, the first 8 pages are all in Chinese. Well, so I go to Portuguese, German, so forth. And I get to English, and there are 3 lines. So the 8 pages of text for the Chinese is 3 lines in English. And I brought them along because even though I was totally shit-faced by this time, they made no sense to me. So let me just read them. Tilt unit while entering water. Use end with flap to add water. Point spear at mouth and insert battery. They're fucking useless. I'd rather they were all in Chinese. They might as well just send a damn box that says, assembly required, good fucking luck. So I get this thing together, I take it in the bathroom, I'm ready to do, to start the water. I turn the faucet and it's ice cold. And our apartment takes 4 to 5 minutes for water to warm up. So I go into the kitchen and I get a coffee cup and I fill it with water, and I grab one of these cups here that looks like it holds about a half of a quart of water. And I put it in the microwave, I bring it in. Now I get this thing. I open the flap, which is about the size of a nickel on a horizontal surface. And the lemonade haze was really starting to kick in. So I have this thing, and I'm lifting up the water. I say, the only way I'll get it in is if I can get a steady drip down into this little hole, and I'm doing this like a mad scientist, trying to get stuff in the hole. And then I finally just get pissed off. I say, fuck it. I just put the whole thing over the hole. And it filled up, lo and behold. So I'm ready to go now. I put the spear in, which is the thing that the high pressure water comes out of, and it's about this long. There's a tiny, tiny little hole you can't even see, especially if you're stoned. So I hold it up to my mouth, I have my finger on the go button, I hit it, everything works, except the water goes the wrong way. Straight onto the mirror, which is about 18 inches away, and completely obliterating it. So, my wife gets kind of pissed off when I make a mess. So I turn the thing around, 180 degrees. The problem is it's squirting the whole time. So now the left wall has taken a hit. So I put it to my mouth, and I've never done it before, so I don't know exactly how it works, and it's bouncing off my teeth and off my lips and up over my glasses. I can't see anything. I'm desperately searching for the switch, and I'm too stoned to realize that where the switch was at the beginning is now on the other side. So I have no choice. I have to stick the thing in my mouth. Because if I put it down, it would be squirting all over the ceiling. So now my mouth is filling up. And now, you know, my life slows down a second due to the lemonade haze. And I'm remembering a formula from high school physics that the flow of water is a function of volume over time. And if I'm doing this calculation correct, I have about 12 seconds to live before I drown. So I have to do something. So I have to open this valve. It's still going in one side and out the other. I feel like a fucking elephant in a watering hole, sucking up water and then throwing it back over my head. So all of a sudden, the beast goes quiet. It's out of water. And I start to survey the damage. I mean, I'm breathing hard. The mirror's dripping, the wall's dripping, water everywhere. I'm dripping, and I hear this voice. How's the water pick working, honey? So let me just say this. If you ever want to screw up a really good high, buy a water pick.